Well, all right, let's start this off. What up, everybody? My name is Oscar Rocha. I go by DjReerun of Minds in the Craze. Okay, well, I'm not gonna start this off by saying everybody's been asking me about my life, so I just had to draw it out. Because that's not the fact. My wife thinks my life is important enough to draw it out, so this is Drawing My Life. So I guess I'm gonna start it off by explaining who my parents are. My father's name is Atanasio Rocha. Yeah, I know, that's one of those big ass Mexican names. Parents must have not liked him, so they gave him that ugly ass name. No, but we all call him Nacho for short. And he was from Zacatecas, Mexico. I am Mexican. That's right. So are they. That's why I'm Mexican. And my mother, Maria Isalver Rocha, also Mexican. And crazy fact, they're both from the same ranch back home, Zacatecas, Mexico. And they have a long story. I don't have enough time so I can explain it, so I'm just going to give you the small rendition of it. My father seen her first and fell in love with her. My mother was playing hard to get, or so she explains it all the time. Yeah, I wasn't really interested in him, how she always explains it. Anyways, yeah, they both came here to America like every other Mexican in the world for a better life. They lived with family. They had like all kinds of jobs. Father got deported a bunch of times. You know, they just struggled really hard to make a life for each other. And I think because of them, I have the drive to do what I do every day. And I see my family and, you know, I want to do the best for them, just like they did for me, my brother, and my sister. I'm one of those people that, like, as soon as I turned 16, I was like, I need to get a job. I need to get a job just because they've raised me that way. And that's just how I am. So they moved to San Fernando Valley, Pacoima, California, and they had Maria, my sister, Robert, my brother, and me. And my parents worked all the time, obviously to give us a better life. My dad worked for a company called Taladay and Lars, and that was a really cool company. They would rent out like Magic Mountain and for their family picnics, and man, that was fun. Um, my mom, she started her like maid service, and she was balling, but I mean, like, she had to sacrifice all her time to be that she would leave like at 6 in the morning to drop us off, you know, at someone to take us to school, and then like leave, and then not come back till like 9 p.m. at night. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think that's where I get my whole like I can run a business. You know, if my mom could do it, I could do it too. You know, and they used to leave us with our grandparents all the time, and they took care of us all the time. So we grew up with our grandparents, which I really loved because I loved my grandparents. And we celebrated like every holiday together. We were a tight family, so we were always together. Christmases we'd go with the family and, you know, just celebrate. And I mean, it was fun, man. I mean, my cousins were in breakdancing. That's where hip hop came from to me. You know, hearing White Lines for the first time, watching my brother, my cousin breakdance, messing with the turntable. It was just like it was dope, you know. And I think for our family, where it took a turn was with the loss of my sister. She had a heart condition. She had a hole in her heart, and the doctors always told my parents it was incurable. So my sister was always sick. She was always like something was always wrong with her. You know, she couldn't breathe. So she couldn't do things like normal kids could do, like just like run. You know, she'd get tired real quick. So my parents were always in and out of the hospital. I feel really bad for them because they've been through a lot with the loss of a, you know, who wants to lose a kid? You know what I mean? I feel really bad for them. Then I feel really lucky that I got to be in my sister's life. You know, I wish I could have said goodbye when she passed away. You know, that's the only thing that I regret, not being able to say goodbye like everybody else in my family did. But you know what's really crazy? Even though the doctors always told my parents that she's not going to make it to C12 and stuff, you know, she would pray all the time and always ask to see her quinceañera. That's all she ever asked for. And God gave her that day. 2 weeks later, she passed away. From there, our life kind of just took a turn. My brother turned 12 and he was going to Pacoima Junior High. And I mean, Pacoima is a tough neighborhood, man. I mean, when you talk about like ghettos, that's ghetto, man. I mean, people were stealing my mom's plants. Me and my brother didn't even have bikes growing up because people would steal our bikes. My brother had to steal bikes for us to have bikes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just a tough neighborhood, man. You gotta have thick skin to come from Pacoima. I mean, straight up. So, of course, started that gang life. Started, crying just like everybody else. Got caught for car theft at 12. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess he did, and from then on, it was just in the jail and out of jail, in the jail and out of jail. And my mom struggled to, fight for him, try to get him out of that shit. But you're a teenager, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Shit happens. We gotta learn the hard way. Some of us do. So I think he just chose to vent his frustration in a different way. So my dad comes home one day and says, my job just moved to Ventura, California. We're like, what? He's like, yep. So we gotta move. And we did. I think that's kind of like the best thing that happened to us because we went from San Fernando Valley to this nice ass neighborhood, Ventura, California. Moore Park, beautiful, beautiful place. And that's where my life really took a change. You see, in Koima, I was a nerd. I mean, I was like straight up just doing schoolwork, man. So I wasn't really popular or anything like that. Everybody in my school was like kind of like family, if not friends. And I just stuck to schoolwork because that's all I did. I didn't want to get into trouble because in Koima, you don't want to get into trouble. So, me and my friend Raymond, we wanted to start a party crew because that's what was different from being a gangster in Pacoima. We didn't want to be those cholos, so party crew was the next thing to do. And of course, we were into graffiti, and I know a bunch of the art shit looks like crap right now, but it's been a long time since I drew anything. But yeah, I was into graffiti, and that's where the whole MUC thing came from. We started MUC back in 1990, and we didn't really have a name for it yet. The name didn't come until later, so we were just tagging up MUC everywhere, putting up crap like this all over your walls. Apologize for that. Believe me, I learned my lesson, okay? Let me tell you this story. One day I was walking back from school, and I took a freaking washable marker and I wrote on a freaking RV, and it was like something freaking small. Anyways, long story short, I got arrested for that. Cops came down to our school, did this like big huge bust on all the taggers. They got everybody. So I had to go to court. They gave me community service. I went to the school to see if I could do the community service there, and then they were like, yeah, sure, buddy. And they were in the mid of construction and like remodeling the school and stuff. On the side of the school was this hill, and they needed the hill flattened, or like the dirt, they needed it to be even. So that was my job. Every day I would climb this freaking side of the school, and every day I would fall more than I would the day before. So if I fucking went up there the first day, fell once, second day, fell twice, third day, fell 3 times. It was so freaking bad, man. Oh, man. So, yeah, I just like, all right, I'm not going to be tagging up no freaking people's property anymore. During this time, too, I was like, getting into music, you know what I mean? Like, I took piano. My mom put me in piano for, like, a day because my dumbass didn't have the patience to learn how to play a piano. I got out of that shit, like, the first day because I thought I was going to go in there and, like, learn the first day, and that didn't happen. But I picked up turntables, and that was cool, man. My first party was like my aunt's party, and that was $60, and that was enough to make me feel like, yeah, man, I want to do this. And yeah, I started DJing. I think by 16 I was already kind of like, I had a name. DjReerun was the name. And Minds in a Craze, obviously that was the party crew. And there was only 5 of us, and within 5 of us we got pretty known. Well, the crew got bigger. It was from all the way from LA County to Ventura County. I mean, like as far as San Luis Obispo, Fillmore opened up the chapter. I mean, it was pretty dope. We had parties all the time. So needless to say, I had friends upon friends. I had so many friends, and yeah, man, that was fun that time. One day, my mom comes to a park where we're all kicking it at, and um, she's like, "We got to go to Mexico because your grandfather's sick, and we want to see him." And so we left. This was a tough time for me because, um, come to find that he had passed away, and we were really going to Mexico to see him buried. Because when you die in Mexico, they don't really wait. You die one day, and they bury you the next day. So that was the reasoning why we had to leave so quick. Um, but I have no regrets with my grandfather. My grandfather knew that I absolutely loved him, and I knew how he felt about me. My grandfather was there for me always, always. He was a great man to me, and he showed me a lot, and I keep him in my mind all the time. I always think about him. When my father wasn't around, he was basically my father. And I think at this time, this is when music became my outlet. This is when writing was my way out, and I learned that I could rhyme and that I was really good at it. And that's what started my whole, like, I want to make beats. I want to record. I want to see what my stuff sounds like as songs. At the same time, I was doing really bad in the school. I mean, we're a party crew, so all we did was party, you know what I mean? Like, I chose to be popular over smart. In Pacoima, I was really smart. In Ventura County, I was, chose to be cool, and it's the wrong choice. Oh well, but I mean, I'm here now, and I'm doing what I do now, but I'm thankful that I went to C school because C school changed my life around a lot. At C school, we met Albert Rios, who was like the coordinator of a youth organization, nonprofit organization called More Project Pride, and he was with the city, and he was like, it was kind of like a YMCA thing, but it wasn't YMCA. It was just something similar to that, and he took us youngsters that were like at risk children, gang activity and all that, as they thought we were, but we weren't. We're a party crew. And he wanted to change our life around. Yeah, buddy, that's not gonna happen. Um, but he gave us a facility to throw parties at. Yeah. So we were like, hell yeah, we'll do it. You use us, we'll use you. And then he took us from college to college, and we would speak about, well, you shouldn't be a gang member. Don't be a gang member. Stay out of problems, kids. Don't do drugs. And at the same time, we're like getting butt drunk and smoking all kinds of weed and stuff. Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. So we're partying, we're having the time of our life, and we're getting known, and then like we start getting into raves. We start throwing parties in warehouses, and cops are like after us completely all the time. Meeting party crews after party crews, we're battling party crews. It was fun. It was a fun time. And lo and behold, the most beautifulest thing in this world is just like that. I get in ya. I meet the woman that I would spend the rest of my life with, my wife. She had her party crew, Playgirl Production, and I had my party crew, Minds in the Craze. So we kicked it a lot. And yeah, I love this woman. Best thing that ever happened to me in my life, and still with her to this day, going on 11 years, and I love her more than I loved her then, and we grow together, and I think our love grows stronger every day. So we started going out, and I got her a job at Walmart where I was working at. Walmart consumed the crap out of our life, and that's all there was. Walmart every day. Day in, day out. That's all we did. And eventually we took the next step and we got married. Awesomeness. And it was crazy because when we got married, the next day we found out she was pregnant. And we had Robert Matthew. My son, he's 11 years old now, but when he was born, he had pyloric stenosis, which was really a scare for us. He was so he had to have that surgery, but thankfully he came out okay, and he's still good to this day, doing really good in school, and hopefully he'll stay that way. So after a while, our family starts talking about moving. We all decided to move to Arizona because we have family out there, and the houses are so cheap, and there's a school that I can go out there. So we all decided to move out here to Arizona, and of course, me and Sarah go right back to Walmart because we just transferred, and that was pretty cool for a little bit. But I wanted to go to school, so I started going to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences out here in Gilbert and Tempe, two locations. That was like awesome. Finally graduated in 2005 and did my internship at Mesa Channel 11, where I ended up getting a job, and I had to drive from Avondale to Mesa all the time. This was during the recession, so one day I come into work and they're like, "Hey guys, sorry, but we're not gonna be able to afford to keep you guys on. So today is gonna be your guys' last meeting." And I was like, "What? Are you serious, dude? It's like Thanksgiving next month." So I go back to Walmart, and Sarah's like, "What are you doing? Open up the studio. You're an engineer. That's what you went to school for." And I'm like, have nothing but doubts because the school always told us never open a studio because it's a failure waiting to happen. Blah blah blah. Obviously they just didn't want the competition, but we did it anyways, and we're still here doing good. Opened our doors 2005. It's 2013, and we're still going strong. But that's not to say it didn't come with a lot of work. And me and Sarah we're on MySpace when it was big, and we were adding people every day, 300 people a day, sending letters to people, letting people know who we were. We got up to like 17,000 people. That's a lot of work, man. And then we were throwing events for the clients just to show our support, like they supported us. And I was also making beats for mixtapes. There were projects, studio projects, and getting some of the clients on there to give them, exposure. And I wasn't charging anybody to be on my mixtape or to perform on my shows. You're already paying me to do studio time, and that's all I asked for, you know what I'm saying? So we're still doing it, you know. Love my wife more than ever. I owe her everything. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be doing the studio thing. Um, yeah, man, I don't know where to go from here. Starting to do video. Been doing video. I think I've done like 18, 19 videos already. And I didn't go to school for that. I'm just very YouTube trained. I pay attention, motherfucker. And yeah, man, I think the videos are coming out pretty dope. Also, been doing photography. That's been pretty cool. I want to get back into doing some events, man. That'll be pretty dope. Just waiting for it to cool down. Fucking hot ass Arizona. So let's see where life takes us from here. Stay in touch. Mine's in a craze, bitches. Google me.